Have you ever met someone and felt it? That sudden, dizzying pull, as if the universe itself clicked into place. The conversations last for hours. You find a dozen shared passions in a single day. And their very existence feels like an answer to a question you've been asking your whole life. It's not just a crush, it's a conviction. A soul-deep certainty that says, this is it, I've found my person. But then, just as quickly as it ignited, the flame flickers, the pedestal cracks, the perfect image shatters, leaving you wondering how you could have been so blind, so foolish, so sure. If this has ever been you, know this. You weren't just being naive. You were following an old, powerful map, one drawn by a heart that learned to find love in a very specific and often painful way. It's easy to call it desperation, to label it as needy, impulsive, or clingy, but that's a surface-level reading of a deep psychological current. Falling in love quickly isn't about the other person at all, not really. It's about the story you project onto them. It's about the empty space inside you that they seem to perfectly, miraculously fit. Psychologists call it limerence, the intense, obsessive state of infatuation where another person becomes the central focus of your emotional universe. It's not exactly love. It's something closer to relief. Relief from loneliness. Relief from uncertainty. Relief from that quiet, gnawing ache that whispers, you are unlovable. You don't just like them. You need them, because their attention feels like a cure. Their validation becomes the proof you've been searching for that you are, finally, enough. This is why the connection feels so spiritual, so destined. Your nervous system isn't registering a new person. It's registering a salve for an old wound. The euphoria isn't just chemistry. It's the sound of a deep-seated anxiety being temporarily silenced. Music shifts. Slightly darker tone. But here's the twist, the hidden pattern behind it all. This isn't a random occurrence. Your brain is guided by your attachment style, a template for love built during your earliest years. If your first experiences of love were unpredictable or inconsistent, if affection came and went without warning, if comfort was sometimes given and sometimes withheld, then you learned that love must be earned. You learned that affection is a prize that must be chased, that you must perform, prove, and please to keep it. And so in adulthood, a calm, stable, emotionally available person can feel strangely foreign. Their steady affection feels flat. Their predictability feels dull. Their availability feels suspicious, because it doesn't match your internal blueprint of what love should feel like. But someone who's a little unpredictable, a little mysterious, a little hot and cold, that feels like home. Your subconscious recognizes the chaos and mistakes it for chemistry. You confuse anxiety with passion. You mistake the roller coaster for romance. You are not falling in love with them, you are falling in love with the familiar ache of pursuit. And in that emotional fog, you begin to perform a kind of magic trick. You erase their humanity and replace it with your ideal. You overlook the red flags because they don't fit the story you're telling yourself. You amplify their best qualities and silence your doubts. You fill in the gaps of who they are with your own hope. You're not seeing a real, complex, flawed person. You're seeing a masterpiece you painted yourself. And the tragedy is, you're falling in love with your own creation. This is why it feels so devastating when it ends. It's not just a breakup. It's a collapse of a dream world, a demolition of the fantasy that sustained you. Because when that illusion breaks, You're forced to confront something terrifying. The fact that the person who held your wholeness was never holding it at all. They were just standing where you placed your healing. And when they walk away, you feel like your self-worth walks away with them. Music softens. Moment of silence. So, what is the way out? Not through cynicism, not through building walls so high that no one can touch you again. The real path forward is quieter, slower, more uncomfortable. It begins when you turn that powerful, obsessive focus, the same one that can romanticize another person, inward. It begins with the terrifying question, why does my sense of wholeness depend on someone else's presence? People who fall in love the fastest are often those who've spent the longest time feeling invisible. Their heart is starved for recognition. Their soul is desperate to be seen. And when someone finally looks at them, really looks, it feels divine. But healing means learning to give yourself that gaze, to see yourself before anyone else does, to validate your own worth before anyone does, to sit in the silence and learn that it won't kill you, because it's in that silence that you start to meet the parts of yourself you've been outsourcing to love. Music grows warmer, gentle acoustic tones. When you begin that work, something profound shifts. You stop seeking intensity and start seeking consistency. You stop chasing the lightning and start appreciating the slow burn. You stop confusing chaos for connection and learn that real love feels less like adrenaline and more like peace. It won't sweep you off your feet. It will steady them. It won't make your heart race. It will make it rest. And that's the difference between infatuation and intimacy. Infatuation is a storm, loud, thrilling, unpredictable. Intimacy is the calm that follows. It's the quiet assurance that you don't have to perform to be chosen. You don't have to sparkle, chase, or beg. You just have to be. But here's the hardest truth. When you've spent years addicted to the rush of new love, peace can feel like boredom. Safety can feel like emptiness. Consistency can feel like a lack of spark, because your nervous system has been conditioned to equate calm with danger, to expect abandonment once things get quiet. So you self-sabotage. You pull away from the stable ones. You chase the unavailable ones. You keep recreating the same heartbreak and calling it fate. But it's not fate. It's familiarity. And your healing begins the moment you can tell the difference. You see, people who fall in love too quickly are not broken. They're just hungry. Hungry for connection, for validation, for the kind of love they were never fully given. Their sensitivity is not a flaw. It's evidence of how deeply they feel, how profoundly they can connect when their heart is safe. The goal isn't to harden that heart. It's to protect it without closing it. To learn discernment without losing wonder. To love without abandoning yourself in the process. So, the next time you feel that sudden intoxicating pull, that dizzy cosmic certainty, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, do I love this person or the idea of being loved by them? Because that question can save you years of pain. Love that starts fast often burns out faster, but love that grows slowly, gently, through shared vulnerability and trust, that's the love that lasts. It won't feel like a movie. It will feel like morning sunlight, familiar, quiet, true. And when you find that kind of love, you'll know it, not by how it excites you, but by how it grounds you. Because real love doesn't set your soul on fire. It teaches it how to finally rest. So, to the ones who fall too fast, who give too much, who dream too deeply too soon, you are not broken. You are simply searching for home in someone else's eyes. But the moment you learn that home was never out there, that it was always within you, that's the moment you stop falling in love to feel whole and start loving because you already are.